This isn't true. I'm gonna have to end stream and address this. This is a real accusation.
Okay, you're laying it on a little thick. Hey! Fucking... We're good. I think they got it. That's a good... It's a good shot. Lying, cheating, and worst of all, sexual assault. All from a professional Pokemon player, no less. Why is it always Nintendo? Maybe I should give them their own drawer. Hey Johnson, go ahead and take the rest of the day off. I got this one.
Are you sure, boss?
No, you earned it. Just get home, get some rest, alright?
Alright, well, don't be a hero.
Man, he has so much aura. I wish I could be like them. Maybe if I got some gains, I wouldn't have to hire all this extra security for after hours. These Smash players have been staking out my office for weeks. I don't know what to do. Hey man, I'm like an angel or whatever. I'm here to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Aura. Great transition, by the way. You're doing a great job. Alright, you can cut the sarcasm, buddy. What do you really want? Well, it looks like you could use some help on your security dilemma. You got that right. What do you got for me? I'm glad you asked. Aura is the all-in-one digital security safety net. It covers your web browsing, passwords, identity, credit cards, and will proactively search the web for data breaches and your personal information to make sure that those leaks stay sealed. Dude, that's awesome, and I'm totally with you. But what does that have to do with gains? Well, for starters, those protesters wouldn't know where you live if data brokers didn't make a fortune by selling your address to shady websites. You're right. But I'm running a tight ship here. Like, I'm not made out of money. What is the damage gonna be? No worries, man. I could hook you up with 14 days free. All you gotta do is go to aura.com/technicals to get started protecting your data today. Hey, one last thing. What is it? Do you have any advice on how to gain... Oh, yeah, right, for sure, dude. Because that's like a... I'm serious about that. Yeah. I'm not joking. You just need, like, proper diet and exercise, man. I don't know. That's not really my department. Like, I could ask one of the other guys if... That's cool. It'd only take a second. He's, like, right next door. No, seriously. It's fine, dude. Just get out of here. You're going to take my viewer retention. Okay. Well, later, I guess. Bye. Thank you.
That was crazy. Tech, did you just follow me here from work?
No. Today we are diving into the realm of competitive Pokemon. Judy Azzarelli is a professional Pokemon player who on September 24th would make quite the questionable response document to allegations from a certain Jane Doe who claimed to be his ex-girlfriend. Now she posted, "I was sexually assaulted by Judy Azzarelli." That's quite to the point. That smoke is still in my fucking lungs. Now, if I'm being honest, this has to be the worst response to a rape allegation I think I've ever seen in my entire life. His document is titled EUIC, which refers to the Europe International Championships for, in this case, Pokemon. I'm assuming he titled it that because that's where the brunt of our story takes place. For our anonymous accuser here, I will be referring to her as Jane Doe, but that's not actually her name. Most people aren't named Jane Doe. That's just it's a filler. For those of you who are going to be, oh my god, she said don't name me. It's not a real fucking name. Jane claims to have started dating Judy sometime around May or June after they met at the North American Championships the year prior. However, their relationship was short-lived because she allegedly found out that he was cheating on her, which resulted in their breakup sometime around December. I don't know if Judy was admitting to frequently cheating on his partners or cheating in competitive Pokemon, but at this stage in the game, it really doesn't change the severity much, if at all. Also, I just noticed this while editing. He went back, even though his account's already privated, so I don't know why he did, but he went back and removed the part where he's admitting to being a serial cheater and a liar. As if that's the worst thing that he's admitting to in this document. Okay. Because their breakup was apparently amicable, Jane decided that it wouldn't be a problem if they kept their joint hotel reservations for the upcoming championships in London. I don't know how you could end a relationship on a good note after getting cheated on, but hey, who am I to judge? But before we dive into all the details of both their testimonies, it shouldn't surprise you that a full-on confession wasn't exactly the first statement that Judy decided to make.
Yeah, Glorin? I'll read it in a bit. I'm gonna... This isn't true. This isn't true. I'm gonna have to end stream and address this. This is a real accusation. She tweeted...
So as we continue to go through this story, just remember that at first, he wasn't singing the same tune. The keynotes of that weekend are as follows. On Saturday, April 6th, Judy has an irrational outburst because allegedly Jane hadn't been checking in with him to update her whereabouts. It got so bad that it almost got him kicked out of Club Fabric. A few fellow community members also had to step in to de-escalate the situation. That doesn't sound like your average outburst if you need 3 people to calm you down. This guy's going fucking Hulk in Club Fabric. Sun's getting real low, bud. However, it's no surprise that in Judy's recollection of these events, he seemingly glosses over that part and gets straight into business. Which, hey, of course, I get that you'd want to get to the main accusation as quick as possible, but when you start glossing over details like how you hulked out at a club, it doesn't really make your defense that much stronger. The morning after that, we had a talk where we both shared our grievances. I apologized, and she told me she would keep me up to date on the night plans if things happened. Sounds like he made her cave. That's what it sounds like to me. I hulked out and she caved. We both had grievances. Mine were just a little bit louder, alright? The following evening on April 7th, everyone meets up at an arcade bar for drinks. And for her, this is the last thing she'd remember before waking up to her estranged ex on top of her. And that, ladies and gentlemen, leads us to the current day fork in the road, where one side claims to not remember anything, and the other is insistent that full consent was present the entire night. Normally, I'd interview some witnesses, do a little investigating, cross-referencing, bada boom, bada bang. The case gets solved, everyone gets to go home. But today's recipe is a little bit different, because our main suspect, Judy, just so happens to not be very smart. Jane Doe's testimony has no evidence, Judy's has no evidence, so really it's a he said, she said, it's anyone's game. Judy recalls the entire experience of that night in extreme detail, and he said every step of the way, he's getting the thumbs up. If that were the case, you'd assume he'd stand firm with his initial denial, right? He seemed pretty confident when he denied it the first time. Now watch closely, because this is how you go from plausible deniability to I'm definitely going to fucking jail. I hope by reading this, you will understand that it doesn't matter if I thought I did everything right. The fact is, I should not have had sex with someone whose sobriety was at question. Regardless of the intention of my actions, the result is the document everyone has read. Please believe the victim. Okay, that's the case. Case closed, everybody. You can... Thank you all. I appreciate you, Patreon, for supporting me. If it really doesn't matter what you think, and you're asking us to believe the victim, why would you then describe the act in such lucid and extreme detail? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Oh my god. I think if you're genuinely stupid enough to go on the internet and say, believe the person accusing me of rape, then you need to turn yourself into the police. Accountability is not... oh, I'm not going to play competitive Pokemon anymore, and I'm going to start doing self-help books and therapy. Believe that. I don't know how you can turn around and say, I'm taking accountability. I hope everyone else can have their abusers take the same amount of accountability that I did. What kind of person admits to raping someone and then gets on a podium, starts grandstanding about how great you are after raping someone? Bro, this is This is shattering my mind. When I first started looking into the case, I even did all the research to see what prosecuting rape was like in London. But then I remembered, it's fucking London. They have a rape reported every hour. You'd have a better chance getting someone jailed for a tweet than a rape in London. That's fucked up. I shouldn't laugh at that, but that's fucked up. You guys got grooming gangs. I've never heard of a grooming gang before. Have you got? That's fucked. That's all good and well. Makes my job easier when people just admit to their crimes. This is really just a PSA for you guys to show you what's going on in the Pokemon community. But Jane ends her story off with a statement for the entire community. It's ultimately a call to action. In the last few sentences, we need to listen, believe, and support victims. We as a community need to change how accepting we are of people who continue to do horrible things. While I do obviously feel bad for Jane, it's not even a question that she was done wrong in this situation. This message is actually unnecessary and probably harmful. First off, I don't really understand the last part, because it's not like there was proof of what happened until Judy, like, just straight up admitted it. There's also no evidence of it reoccurring, so the language of continuing to happen is questionable. Also, just as a basic human psychology thing, Judy wouldn't go around telling people, yeah, I raped that girl. How do you think I can get away with it? That's just not realistic. That's not what's happening, okay? Secondly, I cannot stress enough how dangerous the concept of believing victims is, because it's nonsense, really. Believe evidence and due process. You should never believe someone just because they tell you that they're a victim. That's what we call circular logic. You have to believe their story because they're a victim, and they're a victim because of their story. That's not just asking for belief, you're asking for blind faith. And with the kind of stakes that these stories have, I'm just not willing to do that. And I saw a lot of people echoing that sentiment in response to this case when they were vindicated because Judy confessed. But that is the exception, not the rule. Wow, you condemn rape? Bravo! 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 I had a much harsher joke planned about how you just started uploading Pokemon videos a month ago and you're already calling yourself a fellow PokeTuber to a professional Pokemon player, but I like the fact that you recognize that Smash players are what not to be. You get a pass. You get a pass. Everyone leave them alone. Whether our Jane Doe was showing clear signs of heavy intoxication after the night at the arcade, like slurring, impaired motor skills, sickness, or loss of consciousness, we don't know. We can't know because we weren't there. And Judy swears that she consented, but even if that were the case, there's the question of whether she still had the capacity to consent at all. And this taking place in London doesn't exactly inspire faith in pursuing charges. I looked into it, and honestly, if he could get his document maybe like thrown out, fuck, I think he could even get away with it. Like, London sucks, dude. London fucking sucks, bro. But if we've learned anything from this case, it's that you should never book a hotel room with the ex that you cheated on, crash out, go drinking, and then have questionable intercourse that you later admit victimized the woman. Make sure that you get that part. Make sure you get the part where you admit that you victimized a woman. Post that on twitter.com as your response, and then log out, stop playing video games for a little bit, do some therapy, and then maybe come back. Maybe come back and start playing Smash. That seems to be like your best recourse if you really want to continue playing as a Pokemon. Also, make sure that it happened in London. London or Washington State. That's gonna be that'd be your best that'd be your best bet. And if you want my advice, Jane, you probably don't, but I'm gonna give it anyways. Open an official complaint with the police and then use his own document as evidence, because he's literally confessing to a crime here. And if you can't access it because he privated his account, don't worry. I always follow people's accounts before they private. So if you need help accessing that document, I can send that your way to your throwaway account. Your DMs are not open, but if you need it, I got it. But that's only if you want serious consequences. If you're cool with him taking a break from video games, doing a week of BetterHelp therapy, and moving on with his life, then a Google Doc should be just fine. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you all so much. I was planning on doing a tech talk, but scheduling got in the way. If you enjoyed, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna file this bad boy away before I forget, and don't you forget to come back next time for the next thing that we do. Case closed. It's another one for the books. No. Ah. Right where you belong. Alright, gracias, thank you. Alright, what did I get myself into? You know, for once, Johnson did a good thing. It's a shame he couldn't make it tonight. These are delicious. Got a little bit kick to it. Oh, there's lime. You should eat it. Why would they give me a whole lime to eat? Baby, trata, traca, ta, ta.